Hi guys, Alice Taylor down here at Lytham Golf Academy, and how would you like to hit longer and straighter drives than ever before? Right, so pretty obvious question really. I'm guessing all of you would like to hit longer and straighter drives. But could you do that by simply changing from one height tee to a higher tee? So we're going to show you tee shots and what happens with your golf swing when you tee the ball too low with this white plastic Castle tee, and what can change in your swing from moving to the big orange tee, how it's going to get the angle of attack better, and like I said before, getting you hitting longer and straighter drives than you've ever done. So if it's your first time down watching one of my videos, welcome down to Ali Taylor Golf. If you're returning, as ever, I really appreciate you taking the time to watch my stuff. If you're enjoying today's content, click the subscribe button and ring the notification bell. Let's make sure you get my videos as soon as they land. But for now, let's get you hitting longer and straighter drives than ever before with the correct tee height. Right then guys, so how is the correct tee height going to help you hit longer and straighter drives than ever before? Now, most golfers, particularly if you've been watching YouTube videos, will be aware that ideally what we're looking to do is kind of launch the ball high, low spin, but it's also about obviously that delivery of the golf club, that can we actually get that? So obviously I'm going to start on the white tee and I'm going to hit a typical shot for what I see for most guys when they come and see me. So a lot of guys tee the ball down because they're very worried about hitting it off the top of the club and just popping it up in the air. And we can see that when we address with the white tee, the ball's very much in the middle of the club head, and it almost feels like there's no way of us hitting it off the top of the club. So from that tee position, generally what I will see is, even with a good solid strike, we can see that one shaping out to the right. And we can see there that the low point of my arc was nearly 6 inches after the golf ball. That's got the club moving down through impact. It's also got me swinging the club from out to in, so swinging left. And what that's doing is it's actually taking all of the loft of the golf club off the golf ball. So the problem for most guys is they still want to see the ball go up in the air. So the compensation that builds in is that club face then starts being left open. It's got more loft on there, and even though it'll get the ball in the air, we start seeing a path that's much more left of the club face, and we see that left to right shape. And as we've seen there, 230 yard carry, 263 down the right side, so that would probably be a pretty good one for most guys. But where they find it incredibly difficult is if they've got that white tee. A lot of us are very aware that we need to try and get the low point behind the golf ball. And the theory is sound, but if I've got my low point behind on that low tee, feels like all I can ever do is hit it either very bottom on the club face or even kind of top the ball altogether. So it makes perfect sense that if I'm going to try and get the middle of the club on the golf ball, that's my best way of doing it. So the easiest way of changing that is literally just change the tee height. So we're going to go orange tee, much, much higher. Now, for the guy who gets that low point after the ball, we have to be prepared that when we make the bad swing, to hit the one that goes like lob wedge. But now with that higher tee, now it feels like I could get my low point back behind and get the club moving up through impact. So that's actually going to keep a little bit of loft on the club through impact. Still going to get that nice strike, and because the ball's therefore a little further forward in the stance, and I don't need to add loft, club should have that fraction longer just to square up. Now there are other factors in there, and certainly if you feel that you can swing more from the inside or more to the right, that will encourage that low point to be behind the golf ball, which again will get you hitting up. But literally, I see this so often in lessons that you go from that little tee it up and say, look, don't worry where it's going to go. You know, let's just allow ourselves to get that low point behind the golf ball and feel that we hit up a little bit more on the shot. And we can see a much, much straighter shot. So even though the low point's been 3.2 inches behind there, I'm now hitting up 2.5 degrees. My path is much straighter, very slightly to the right. Club face is almost dead square, and the ball's now going 261 carry and 290 total. So guys, how would you love to pick up that extra 30 yards and be much more accurate with it by simply changing one piece of equipment, going from that really low tee that encourages that kind of almost smothery swing and then leaving the club face open to get it in the air, to putting it on a big high tee, allowing yourself, it will take a little bit of practice, to get that low point behind the ball, get you hitting up and hit longer and straighter drives than ever before. Right then guys, so hopefully something very, very simple we can put into practice. The key thing for me is once that ball's up in the air enough, it is amazing what swing changes you see with golfers, because they're suddenly able to deliver the middle of the club face back to the ball without having to make any compensatory movement. And then as a result of keeping enough loft on the club, they're then not manipulating the club face as much, trying to keep the ball in the air. So you might not end up going from white to orange. There's a pink in between as well. Not sure if all the colours are the same in everywhere else in the world, but in the UK they're the colours we're using. But put that into practice. You know, don't be afraid of hitting the odd bad one. When we're making changes, we don't do it every time. But if you can improve your delivery of the club just simply by changing tee height, it's going to get you hitting the ball straighter and further than ever before. So if you have enjoyed the video, like and share it, comment below, I'll get back to as many people as I can. Click the subscribe button and ring the notification bell to make sure you don't miss out whenever I drop a new video. Follow me on all my social media platforms, all under Ali Taylor Golf. Hopefully catch up with some of you guys down here soon. Stay in contact.